Hi there.
I'm B127.
I'm actually working on some nicknames. The one I'm floating right now is BADASSATRON, which is actually pronounced BADASSATRON.
What is up, guys? My name is LegoMan71 and I'm doing something a little bit different than my usual Bionicle themed videos. Today I'd like to take a look at the Transformers Dark of the Moon Cyberfire Bumblebee. Now this is a deluxe class figure from 2011. Originally priced for $12.99, I bought this for $15 at an estate sale. It was a really good deal considering that a sealed one like this goes for double the amount on eBay. Well, I say it like this, more like it was before I opened it. Cause with me, if I have an itch, I gotta scratch it. If I have an unopened Transformer, I gotta open it. Now much like older packaging would show you the strengths and skills of the character that the box held within it, I'm going to be ranking these on a 1 to 10 scale. First off, let's just start with the alt mode. I absolutely love this alt mode. It is a perfect 10 out of 10. This alt mode is the embodiment of American muscle cars. Now, my love of Camaros and muscle cars in general all stems from the first time I watched a Transformers movie when I was like 3. And this is just an awesome vehicle mode. From the hot rod flames to the trans orange windows, from the spoilers, from the NASCAR racing nets that are in the windows of the car, this is just, it's awesome. It's just peak American muscle. Now we're going to cover the transformation. First we want to make sure his head's nice and straight before we fold up his chest. That'll become the hood of the car. Flip up his little ab looking piece, which will turn into the grille of the car. Then we want to push the chest pieces that'll turn into the grille of the car into their right place, and then we move down to the legs. Now the legs are fairly similar in design on how the 2007 concept Camaro Bumblebee was and how they fold up. Once we do that on both legs, we connect the two, which will form the back of the vehicle. Then we want to take the backpack kibble, then we just stretch it out like an accordion and tab it into the front and back pieces that we had just conformed. Next, we just fold in those doors. Now, keep in mind that the orange window tint that is connected to the doors that is folded out when in robot mode, we want to fold those in so it does not go against the NASCAR nets. Kind of a design flaw if you think about it, but it doesn't affect the overall aesthetic. Next, we want to fold in the hands, then turn the arm 90 degrees and then fold it into the body of the car. You want to end up with the yellow parts of the forearm facing out towards you. Then fold the front wheels forward, make sure that chest is tabbed in right, and boom, you're done. Overall, it's not that bad of a transformation. I'd say I give it a 7 out of 10. It's definitely not the most complex transformation I've ever done. It's certainly not the easiest to do first try. But once you transform them back and forth a few times, you'll get the hang of it. As we go into robot mode, I'm going to have to also give this a 7 out of 10 rating. Don't get me wrong, I love the overall silhouette and the yellow flames on the black paint. It just looks awesome, but the paint is mainly where I have an issue. There's a lot of parts on here where there is either so much yellow that it's pooling and dripping a tad, or it is so light that the black plastic is starting to bleed through. Even as I look at it now, there are even some parts that were supposed to completely remain black, and there's some yellow that is apparently bled into where the plastic should just be black. And all this may be just on my copy, but one thing that I do notice by looking at the face is that there are some black parts of the forehead that are bleeding through the yellow, as well as some yellow bits on the silver of the face. And this has just been in transformation, but a little bit on the left side, I guess where the ear would be for Bumblebee, is starting to chip. And that's mainly just because I've been transforming him a couple of times. And that's honestly like 4 or 5 transformations out of the box. So yeah, this would probably be a higher rating on the robot scale. Everything else I love. The kibble is tasteful. It's not that much of a backpack, although there is like a hollow bit between the back of the vehicle and I guess the spine of the robot. But other than that, all the details, the sculpting is pretty spot on. It's just mainly the paint problems. As far as height goes, here's Bumblebee compared to Power of the Prime's Jazz and War for Cybertron Siege Sideswipe, along with Siege Voyager class Optimus Prime and my own self-mock Ultimus Prime. If you want to know more about Ultimus, I have a couple of videos linked in the description down below. But yeah, he scales pretty well with other Transformers, so I think I'd stand by my 7 out of 10. Design-wise, I'll go with an 8 out of 10, just because I really like this design with all the paint and the sculpting and all. Basically everything I just said about the robot mode can be translated into the overall design, plus a little bit more. I do think that the trans orange pieces for the windows and then the eyes is a really good feature to have, especially compared to modern Transformer toys, which don't really have that much light piping. As far as articulation goes, it's pretty standard for Transformers. You have the shoulders that turn at a 90-degree angle, then you have a bicep swivel, and then elbow joints, and his hands actually can fold in. Head is on a ball joint. Then you have a waist swivel, leg on a ball joint, and a thigh swivel, regular knee joint, and then there's 2 like different points of articulation for the foot that usually leads into the transformation of the figure. And that about does it for articulation. 8 out of 10 for articulation. Posing is pretty good. You can tilt him pretty far before he starts tipping over, and he stands pretty well on his own. And you can get him into some pretty dynamic like running action or crouching. Not really good at kneeling down because of just how long his shins are compared to his thighs and those articulation points. But other than that, overall pretty good. I'd say posability is a 8 out of 10 and articulation is a 7 out of 10. Next we go into collectability. Now this is definitely something for me, who's a Bumblebee fan, have been since 2007 when I first saw Transformers. This is definitely something that earns a place in my collection along with a lot of the other Bumblebees, and with his paint job just makes him stand out against all the other Bumblebees. He's like my favorite one out of all of them. Definitely 9 out of 10 collectability. So like I said, I'm a Bumblebee fan. I love this guy to death. He has always been one of my favorite Transformers, and probably will until the day I die. But anyways, thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below what movie was your favorite and what figure you think I should do next. With all that said, I've been LegoMan71, and I end the transmission now.